All right, the next topic what we're going to talk about is the transformation of functions, okay? That means what it is how a function changes. There's some important vocabulary words that you need to know, okay? The first word is coefficient. What coefficient is, it's the number in front of the x value, in front of the x variable. Number in front of a variable. Okay, for example, 2x, that's the coefficient right there, okay? 3x squared, that's the coefficient. Okay, that number is very, very important, okay? The word translate. Translate means to move. Both these words right here are the same, okay? Moves the graph. Okay. So if you translate, you're moving the graph. Okay. The shape is the same. Everything's the same except it just moves either left, right, up, or down. Steep. Steep is when we talk about linear functions, and we talk about slope. Steeper means more vertical. Okay, that means a line that looks like this becomes more like this. Okay, that's what steep is. Okay, if it's less steep, the line becomes like this, and it becomes flatter, more horizontal. Okay, that is less steep. Okay, now a vertical stretch is the parabola. Okay, is usually it makes it narrower or more narrow. We say more narrow in English, okay? Vertical compression means that you're flattening it, okay? Okay, it becomes wider. Yeah. So, now, in general functions, okay, if you ever see a negative in front of the x, it's going to reflect across the x-axis. If you see a 2 in front of it, it makes it as a vertical stretch. If you put a half, it's a vertical compression. You make the number smaller than 1. Okay. Now, if you add 2, okay, or add any number, it causes the graph to translate up or shifts up. Okay, you add 2 outside with no parentheses, translates down. Okay, you add 2 inside a parentheses, it shifts or translates. I'm going to use the word shifts here, okay? It shifts left, opposite of what you think. Oops, I messed up writing that. This should be f of x minus 2. And this one just shifts right. Okay, so when it comes to linear functions, okay, you have y equals mx plus b. If they talk about this right here, the number in front of the x, the coefficient, they usually, it will change the steep, okay? It changes the steep or the slope of the graph. If we're talking about d, the y-intercept, the number by itself, it changes. Either you're going to translate up or translate down. Okay, here they usually have these two right here affects the A. The bigger the A, the more narrow it is. Vertical compression, you have the smaller A. Okay. The other thing that you need to focus on is a negative A, remember, is a reflection. Okay. And these two things right here, where there's no X, those things affect the translation. I'll show you in examples that's coming up. Okay, if the graph of y equals 9x plus 4 is translated up, which equation describes the new graph? Okay, 9x plus 4 translates 4 units up. Remember, this is the slope, this is the y-intercept. And when we talk about, you see this word? We're only looking at the number by itself, okay? So translates 4 units up, so I'm going to add 4. So y equals 9x plus 8. You can always check your answer. Now, let me see the equation again. 9x plus 4. 9x plus 4, enter. 9 tab. 9x plus 8, enter. You see those two lines? They look like they're right next to each other, but if I'm gonna menu, window zoom. Let's just zoom out for a second, and I'll put my center right there. Okay, oops, I zoomed out too far. Oh boy. Let's go back to normal. Okay, let's do the graph trace. Trace, graph trace. So if we're gonna just look at, okay, you see that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now I can't see my other one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tab. See, that's my first one. The black one's my second one. Okay, you see that black one? I'm going to highlight it. Menu, trace, graph trace. It's on the red. And I move it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see how it moved up to 4? Okay. Moving on to the next problem. Okay, the graph of line P is represented to y equals 1 half x minus 1. If the slope of the line is multiplied by 10, so I'm going to multiply this by 10 times 10 to create the new line, which times negative 10. Which statement about the graph of the two lines is true? So I'm going to create a new graph. Let's just create a new document. I'm not going to save anything. I'm going to add a graph. So 1/5 x minus 1 okay, then tab. Remember, what I want to do is control divide 1/5. I'm going to multiply this number by negative 10, right? So I'm going to just put times negative 10 x minus 1. You see what now we're going to read the answer choices. Lines R intersects line P. That works out. They're not parallel. They're not above or they're not below. So our answer is A. Alright, why don't you try this one on your own? Okay. The graph of 3x squared minus 2 is shown below. So they showed the graph. If the coefficient of x squared is changed from 3 to another positive number to create a function, how will the graph of the new function compare it? So you can choose any positive number you want. Okay. So it was 3x squared minus 2, I believe. Yes. Oops. Calculator. Tab. 3. X squared minus 2. Enter. Remember they said you changed that 3, so I'm going to say 5 x squared minus 2. All I did was just change it to another positive number like this. Okay, you can see it became more narrow, right? So let's look at our answer. The x-intercept of the new graph will be the same as the x-intercept. And the new graph will be the same as the x-intercept of the original graph. Okay, if you look at it, the x-intercept changed, okay? It was a little bit wider and it became a little bit more narrow, so that's not correct. Okay, the vertex of the new graph will be different. If you look at it, the vertex is the same. The new graph will be wider or narrow. It was narrow. See, wider or narrow. It was more narrow. So this looks good. The graph will open in the opposite direction. No, because they both open up. So our answer is C. Try this one on your own. One more. And last one. Let's see if you can do this one.